So as we get into things, rankings are still the same as mock draft 1.0. Right. No trades as of this point, just free agency signings and off-season trades.
Discussions of trades and things of that nature.
Absolutely. Still sitting at number 1, the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. This is still a very interesting spot. There's a lot of things they could do here. Obviously, you think Tennessee wants to go quarterback. Will Levis probably isn't the answer. But there's a lot of talent elsewhere on the board. Obviously, quarterback isn't the best player on the board, let's be honest. So what they do here is kind of still a toss-up. I really think we could see a Bears situation where they eventually just trade out. I've seen a lot of rumors about the Giants moving up from 3 to 1, which would probably guarantee a quarterback selection there without a Russell Wilson or an Aaron Rodgers signing. I don't know, man. What do you got down?
I don't know. I think that outside of a lot of reports, I don't think that any of these teams are super keen on any of these prospects per se.
Right.
But I still think as rankings sit and without this trade, Cam Ward is the number 1 guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of places. I think when you're drafting.
I think 101 is the one place in this draft that may be solidified.
Think so? Okay.
And outside of the trade.
Right. And I think regardless, even if there is a trade, you're trading up for a quarterback. You're not trading up for Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter as good as they are.
They could, yeah, exactly. These teams that are there are hoping that situation happens and they sit where they're at.
Right. We all know quarterback has kind of become the essential 101 in most cases, unless you have a solidified quarterback, which is very rare for a number 1 pick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's the most position of need. I'm with you. We could stay Cam Ward number 1. I think it's just best case scenario for Tennessee. You get the best upside in the draft at QB and a lot of talent.
Absolutely.
That still brings us to the Cleveland Browns. Haven't made many crazy moves.
Yeah.
Retained Garrett. You convinced him to stay, paid him a bag.
I think it's because you can't make many moves. You're still under the Watson contract, and now you had to give the rest of your money to your franchise player that said, well, I'm not going to stay for $159 million to keep losing seasons. They said, how about 160? He said, all right, let me sell my name.
100%. I've had a lot of different, thoughts on this pick lately. I think a couple things to know. Browns went out and traded DTR and a pick for Kenny Pickett. Now, obviously, he's not the future. He's not your starter. He's not your guy. But I think they're preparing for a battle between Pickett and Watson, in my opinion. Obviously, you need quarterback. I think quarterback is where they should go here. Caught myself up there for a second. Do I think that's where they're going to go? Not necessarily.
Yeah, after 1.0, I think things have changed. Obviously, I mean, a lot of things to work out with this whole roster in Cleveland, especially with how financially it's going over there. But with things going for Shedeur, I think he's dropped over the last few weeks. And obviously that was our pick in 1.0, but I don't know if QB is the answer here for Cleveland, too. They made that mistake so many times.
Right. I really think this is between...
Especially with Cam Ward off the board. Sorry.
No, you're good. I 100% think this is between Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. You can't go wrong either way. Now, do you want to pair Abdul Carter with Myles Garrett and have one of the best pass rushing duos in the league? Or do you go out and get a very needed position in Travis Hunter if he plays wide receiver?
What position?
Yeah, if he plays wide receiver. I don't know, man. I don't think you need a cornerback.
Literally every team in the NFL is talking about both. I may be able to pull up I may be able to see if the Browns specifically have answered that question, because a lot of franchise GMs did.
I don't think you need corner if that's where you're going to play Travis Hunter in the league. You got Denzel Ward, you got Greg Newsome, and those are both 2 very good corners that you're going to keep on your outside.
The Browns see Travis Hunter primarily as a wide receiver, though they acknowledge, obviously, his ability to play both.
See, no, I think if they play him at wide receiver, this is the pick. You have nobody outside of Jerry Jeudy. David Njoku is getting old. I know you don't have a quarterback, but you need some kind of spark on the offensive side.
Your one faith in Cleveland has been defense.
Yeah, and I think that re-signing Garrett takes the need away from technically Abdul Carter. I think Travis Hunter is crazy good, regardless of where he plays.
The best player in the draft.
Yeah.
Well, he's one. Abdul Carter, possibly. They're 1A, 1B with each other. It's
100%.
outside of that.
I think it's Hunter, man. What do you think?
I don't know. There's just so much with this roster. Well, I mean, my first three needs for quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Yeah. You paid Myles Garrett to be the most paid player ever outside of quarterback. I don't think. I mean, they'd be a crazy pairing. I get that, but I don't think you need him.
Yeah. Can't win a game with 0 points on the board.
It's facts. I think it's Hunter, man.
Travis Hunter
I think that's the smartest.
ends up in Cleveland.
I think that's smart.
And now New York's on the board. What do they do?
It's Shedeur.
Remember from the beginning,
Yeah,
the Shedeur cleats.
it's Shedeur.
Number one need quarterback, obviously Tommy DeVito. Tommy Cutlets is not going to be your future starting quarterback if you want to things
The
to
only
change.
quarterback they have on roster at the moment, by the way. If he falls here, if you stick at three, have a chance to draft Shedeur Sanders. There's no way they pass. I mean, it's what you need. It's what Malik Neighbors is asking for. You have none. You don't have a quarterback, quite literally.
I also had this more to the trade just because I want to mention the Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson conversation. Obviously, again, I don't have faith in those quarterbacks, but that seems to me like they're prepared to not have Shedeur.
Right.
And I don't think they're necessarily more afraid of Cleveland.
Even if they do, I think if they do sign Rodgers and Russell Wilson, I don't think it's dumb to still draft Shedeur. I mean,
No, they're outside of their developmental quarterbacks in this draft. I mean, if this was any other year, they're probably not first-round quarterbacks.
Right, 100%. I think it'll help Shedeur if he has the chance to have a season with A-Rod or Russell Wilson. I think regardless if you sign them, obviously neither of them are long-term. You still need a quarterback.
Yeah, probably one season.
Yeah, and if you're going to sign one of these guys, you're not expecting to have the number one pick next year. You go sign Aaron Rodgers, you're not expecting to go 2-15. Let's be real. You have to draft a quarterback now when you have your chance. I think Shedeur is the best quarterback they've had since Eli.
I mean, outside of quarterback, this is the best the offense has looked since you've had prime Odell Beckham.
Right.
Tyrone Tracy's finally locked up as a stud at running back. He's young. He broke out last season getting his chance. Malik Neighbors, obviously.
Fantastic.
I mean, that offense looks good. Obviously, maybe in O-line pieces, but things like that can be fixed later in the draft.
Right.
I like Shedeur here.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with it. It's the best chance you're going to have at a QB. He's down there.
We're going to drop a little bit. I feel like, obviously, if we get into like mock draft 3.0 and those things, that's when trades may break out, and we'll talk about the total trades here. But I feel like now things are still so up in the water, we may not make some like huge trades.
Right.
Just because there's so many teams on the board that could potentially move here.
Yeah. Any of these picks, really. He's still on the board. Patriots are up. You have to take him dual Carter. If he falls to 4, there's no other choice.
Yeah, obviously Travis Hunter is gone.
Yeah.
Your quarterback of the future is locked up.
Drake May. That guy. And they've been big spenders in free agency. Day one, they spent the most money in anybody in the league. So, I mean, they're looking to build around Drake. You go get a guy like Abdul Carter to fix your problem last year of absolutely zero pass rush.
I want to mention also the Patriots are the happiest team in the league if this scenario works out the way it is.
100%.
You sit here and Abdul Carter, possibly the best player in the draft, falls to 4, and you don't even move, you don't break a sweat.
Yeah.
Best case scenario.
It's Mike Vrabel's guy. He loves his defense, man.
Exactly.
Go get Abdul Carter if he's here.
And if you're, this is again best case scenario, potential steal again, maybe the 4th pick in the draft. But being able to sit there at 4, not break a sweat, and get the potential best player in the draft outside of controversy and development.
Right. It's a no-brainer.
Snack.
Okay.
Jacksonville. Obviously, a lot of things locked up in Jacksonville. Things didn't go as planned, but a lot of things still seem panned out. Trevor Lawrence, franchise quarterback, things aren't changing there anytime soon. Tank Bigsby, beautiful running back. I know you love him.
100%.
ETN, obviously a wide receiver. They got Brian Thomas Jr. And obviously a little shaky outside of that. But
Right.
they got some
Lost
pieces
Evan Ingram.
in Jacksonville, yeah.
Now, I don't hate the wide receiver look of this, but I also don't hate O-line. I think your biggest problem last year was the step back that Trevor Lawrence took. He was nowhere near as good as he should have been. Yeah.
He's number one.
You have to protect him. He still has a chance. He has some potential. He's not a bust quite yet. You still have an opportunity with him, but you have to protect him. There's a lot of good alignment in this draft. Best one on the board, obviously, Will Campbell. I don't know. Where do you think we go?
Obviously, our man, Membu, has been the big stud, obviously, since the combine.
Right.
That's still a shaky pick to me. I know he's moved up a lot of boards simply off the combine alone, but I mean, I just feel like you can't. Again, this is a trade scenario, but this is a possible can't go wrong scenario. You got to protect Trevor Lawrence. Give him 5 more seconds to get the ball to Brian Thomas. Give Tanks to do that gap. I mean, I think Will Campbell's only controversy is his arm length. Or maybe that's Kelvin Banks. One of these, I think Will Campbell, his arm length is like the controversial talk right now. But
You know.
I think Mel Kiper himself has said you have to have an outlier to be a good player, though.
Right.
Curry was too small and had glass ankles. I know it's a different sport, but just one of the best.
Same concept.
One of the best wrong scouting reports of all time.
100%. No, I agree.
So I feel like Will Campbell's still a safe pick here.
Yeah, I agree. You said Will Campbell here. All right.
Now this is the pick that's changed the most. Obviously, Pete Carroll went out and got his guy.
Gino.
There's a spot they're missing. I think they may be on the same page.
Ashton Jeanty.
100%.
It makes so much sense. I mean, it's perfect. Your starting running back as of now, it's Cecile McCormick. He's horrible.
Your offensive coordinator is now Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Your number one need is running back. You just got the Crosby extension done.
This is so obvious. I mean, it's a match made in heaven. Ashton Jeanty to Las Vegas just fits and sounds beautiful. I'm not a Raider fan, but he's guaranteed a starting spot. He's every down back. He's going to play. It fits beautifully. I'm here for it.
I like it.
Pete Carroll misses his Marshawn Lynch. He's not going to get another one.
Absolutely. Brings us the New York Jets, who now has a real sour taste in my mouth. Because their starting quarterback is who last week in my dream off-season scenario, I wanted to be my quarterback. On this whole paper alone, I got a sad face.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It hurts.
Now, I think there's a couple different ways you can go here.
New head coach Aaron Glenn over in New York immediately came in and said Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams aren't my guys. They're 40. Let's start things over.
And he did. He did just that. I think there's a couple things. Well, like I said, I think there's a couple ways you can go here. Obviously, I think you still could use O-line. You got to protect Justin Fields.
100%.
But I think another big position of need for them now could be wide receiver. Obviously, you still have Garrett Wilson, one of the better receivers in the league. But outside of that, you don't have much.
Talents are.
Right.
Essentially.
Let's be real. I mean, that's not much, especially as he's getting older. He was Aaron Rodgers' guy, so he was there. I think a wide receiver could help them a lot. I really like Terrell McMillan. I think he's the best wide receiver prospect in the class. Obviously, like you said, I do like Armin Mambu, just due to the fact they need O-line. And I don't hate maybe a Tyler Warren, but I think it might be a little early.
Yeah, Conklin, I mean, I know he's getting older, but I feel like he's still reliable. I don't think offensive tackle would be crazy, but again, now with some moves, I feel like this could be a traded pick.
Right. It definitely could.
Like 3 through 10 almost could be.
I mean, there's a lot
1
of
through
talent
10.
still. I mean, we're 6 picks in. There's still so much talent on the board.
Exactly. To where you don't have to. I mean, we talked about it last week. There's talent from in each round.
Yeah, 1 to 7. I mean, you can get anybody. I don't know. I think it's an O-line or wide receiver. I don't think you go wrong either way. You get Justin Fields another target, or do you say you need
need the line.
Something about the O-line.
I mean, that's a Jets thing to do. Huh?
Exactly.
I don't even know if they really have much at all over there.
They're sitting at Olu Fashanu,
He's a dog.
John Simpson, Joe Tittman, Elijah Vera-Tucker,
He's good.
and Carter Moore.
The tackle position needs some work outside of Fashanu.
He's been a tackle now is the stud Mimbu who's moved. I don't have a lot of faith in Mimbu as much as some. I can still see obviously coming up in this board, but top 10 is a little shaky.
Pushing it, yeah. I mean, you don't like him here. I also like Kelvin Banks still. But like I said, I also like McMillan. But if they do need a line, I think it's Mimbu or Banks.
This pick confuses me. I can see Mimbu here. Okay. It seems like the New York thing to do.
I'm with it. Pair him and Fashanu, and you got your tackles of the future.
Exactly. But you just mentioned one pick before. I think this one.
Yeah.
I think it could go here.
I agree. Obviously, they re-signed Adam Thielen, who wants to finish his career in Carolina. Shout out Xavier Legette, but you're in desperate need of a playmaker. I'm pretty sure we mocked Tyler Warren here, but I think with Teneroa and McMillan still on the board, it's a perfect fit. They need a receiver in the worst way.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, I'm not a fan, but showed a few flashes second half of the season last year once he got the starting job back. So giving him a big target that he can throw the ball up to Teneroa.
Absolutely.
However you say it, everybody pronounces it.
Territorial.
Yeah, McMillan. That's what it is. Okay. And here we are.
New Orleans.
Now hear me out.
My number one need here was you.
100%. Now that we're here and I see who's on the board, I'm between two people, I feel like.
Mason Graham, obviously, here would be a beautiful pick.
Agreed.
A little bit of a fall from projected, but at 9.
I'm between. I really like Tyler Warren here. I think we're in desperate need of a playmaker. I mention that every time we talk, especially desperate need of a tight end. But I also really like Will Johnson for a couple of reasons. We lost Marshawn Lattimore, obviously, at the trade deadline last year, and we just lost Paulson Adebo to the Giants in free agency. Obviously, we went out and got Justin Reed, but he's more of a safety up-type kind of guy. He's going to play alongside Matthew. I think we're in very desperate need of a cornerback now, just to kind of step up, especially if we run these nickel sets with 3 corners. I think Will Johnson's a beautiful fit. I think him at 9 is a very good value. Could even 100%. Be the best corner in the draft.
100%. Would be the first corner off our draft, and probably the real draft as well.
Right.
I want to mention that I think it was Phil Yates that said, I believe Shamar Stewart was the Mickey Loomis pick here. But
listen, he's the last guy I want in this top 10. I don't think he's bad, but I'm just so sick and tired of drafting the same player every single year.
Every year. That's why he said it's the Mickey Loomis pick.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it. We got to switch it up. You just let our top 2 corners walk and leave. You traded one. You let the other one walk to a poverty franchise in New York.
The one thing they did do, though, was get Chase Young back, which wasn't expected by a lot of people.
Right. So why do we need Shamar? I understand Cameron Jordan's getting old, but you drafted an edge rusher for the last 5 years. One of them's got to work out.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, man. You can't keep
You can't go 6 years straight.
Yeah. I think, in my opinion, I think it should be Will Johnson. I think that's the pick.
I'm with that, especially if he's on the board at 9. Snack.
That would be beautiful. I'd be so happy.
Now, Chicago. Again, this is a team that could trade up, trade down. I feel like this is a team that's right in the middle.
I want to mention one thing.
They O-line pickup this offseason.
I think O-line's out of the question here. I don't think you need it.
Have you seen the post the Bears made? The wall of
Dahlman, Joe Thuney, and there was another guy.
They have a wall of Chi-Town or something like that. It's crazy.
Beefed it up. Ben Johnson went and did his thing.
Yeah.
Last time we mocked this, it was Ashton Jeanty. He didn't fall this far this time. We got to switch things up. I think there's a multitude of ways you could go here. Obviously, I think you still need help on defense. You fixed your O-line problem. You have really good playmakers. You kept your 3 receivers around. Could still use an extra running back, but that's not really in play here.
Yeah, not at 10.
I like Mason Graham. Like I said, I think you need defensive help. I like Shamar Stewart. That was their biggest problem last year, was edge rush. Obviously, Montez Sweat helped that out a little bit.
Again, I feel like this is a pick that could be traded. You'd love to see the 2 running back set if it were to somehow fall that way.
Right.
But if Mason Graham's here at 10, I don't think he can go anywhere else.
No, I mean he's the best player on the board by a long shot.
Again, this is outside of trades, but
this guy can be, the next Quentin Williams or Dexter Lawrence, the guy that can make plays in the middle of the defense and really set the tone for the rest of it.
Especially for a young team like Chicago, new head coach Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I like that. We can go Mason Graham. All right, scroll down our list here. 49ers are on the clock at 11. And wow, oh wow, they fell apart.
I don't know. They haven't changed a lot.
Haven't changed a lot. They've lost the most players of any team.
I know. I was trying to help the San Francisco faithful there.
Okay.
Brock Purdy got his extension. CMC should be back in healthy. Knock on wood. Say some prayers real quick.
We'll see.
Debo to Washington.
Yeah. Brandon Ayuk possibly what now?
I was gonna say obviously we saw the Ayuk controversy last season. But outside of that, Pearsall looks like a stud.
Right.
Pick up. He's starting to be more prominent. George Kittle, getting another age, but still Kittle.
Yeah.
So
Your defense.
yeah,
You lost a lot.
a lot.
You lost Talanoa Hufanga, your starting strong safety. You lost your best corner in Charvarius Ward. You lost Javon Hargrave in the middle. You lost what's the other big name I'm forgetting? Oh my god, I'm blanking.
I'm picturing him too.
What did I say? My brain just shuts off at the worst times.
Alfanu, the cornerback, they went to Indy.
They lost somebody else. I don't know. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna make me mad.
See, this is
Dre
a-
Greenlaw.
I was gonna say this is a hard part of being a 6 sport analyst.
Yeah, literally. I remembered that because he joined Hufanga in Denver. But yeah, lost a lot of pieces. Your defense looks totally different. Obviously, you still got guys like Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. Outside of that, you don't have a whole lot to look forward to at the moment.
Yeah.
You need help on the defense. I mean, you need help on the offense too at this point. But I think defense is the biggest need here. I like Shamar Stewart. I like Michael Williams. I like Malachi Starks. Replace Hufanga. I think he doesn't fall much farther. James Pierce. I like all those guys.
I can see Shamar here.
I do like that. I mean, you got to refill.
And it seems like the 49ers pick.
Yeah. You need somebody to put along Bosa now. Start the reset.
Dallas. Speaking of reset.
Okay. Jerry Jones has pulled the trigger a little more this offseason than the last few years. Now, don't get me wrong, not a lot of big names. But he's made some holes, filled in some spots. But you still have some things of need. Obviously, without a running back of any sort right now, you lost Rico Dowdle to the Panthers.
They did pick up,
Kenneth, wasn't it Kenneth? Or no, you guys picked up game up.
yeah. Now, see,
They did pick up a running back. I don't remember that. I don't think it was anybody. Miles Sanders.
yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously, again, Miles Sanders shouldn't be a starting running back, but
you still need help there. Let's be real. I don't know, man. I think there's a few options here. I don't hate Tyler Warren just due to another desperate need for a weapon of some sort.
yeah.
I think you can't go wrong. I like Starks. I really like Matthew Golden starting to creep up boards after the combine.
100%.
Luther Burden must have fell far, huh? He hasn't popped up at
Yeah.
all.
You got a Rebuka.
Wow.
Chris Scorton.
I mean, is it too early to reach on a receiver of some sort? That's your biggest need right now. I mean, CD can't do everything. Oh, man.
Would it be a Golden? Texas.
I mean, if you go receiver, it has to be Golden at this point. I don't feel like that's a crazy reach. We've seen crazier things happen.
Golden to Dallas.
Let's do it. I like it.
You continue to support Dak, so give him another weapon to prove whatever you think he can prove for, year 10 at this point.
Yeah.
But Dallas continues with the rebuild. Pick 12.
Right. Okay.
Miami.
This is a weird team.
Whole bunch of whatever. Tyreek Hill. saying he wants out and supposedly working things out. Who knows week to week with Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah.
Your quarterback's brain has gone to mush at this point, but
You're sticking with him.
sticking with him. He's young.
Yeah. I don't think you need a playmaker. Your running back and receiver slots are cool. You're obviously sticking with Tua. The O-line, I'm not 100% sure on. I don't know. I don't remember what Teron Armstead did. I think he re-signed. Maybe that could use some help. Obviously, defense is always in need. You still have Jalen Ramsey out there at corner. Your defense isn't terrible. You don't really have crazy pass rushers. Jalen Phillips kind of the main guy. This is an interesting.
Yeah, right now they need a left guard, right tackle.
You lost Javon Holland in free agency.
Tyreek Hill is the only listed wide receiver. Well, no, Jalen Waddle, obviously. So it was the second, the way they had it.
I don't think
A lot of defense.
Malachi Starks is crazy. You got to replace the loss of Holland, who was your main up top safety last year.
I do like Starks. I don't think that's the worst pick.
I mean, it kind of feels right.
Just go over top and get the deepest player on your defense.
I feel like Starks might even go earlier than this, bro. I think he's down on draft boards just due to safeties not being high need.
Exactly. It's just a need draft at this point.
Tyler Warren.
100%. If it falls this way,
It fits perfectly. It's a beautiful fit. Obviously, you now have a quarterback duel of Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson in Indy.
there's going to be some O-line questions if Tyler Warren doesn't fall here after
Right.
Quentin Nelson and
Right.
those moves.
They did lose Will Fries in free agency.
But I feel like they did have faith in the. It may have been Quentin Nelson's replacement. Somebody's replacement they were pretty keen in on at that point.
Okay, so it's got to be Warren.
If this is how again the draft falls, no trades, and Warren is here at 14, or if Warren is here when Indiana's on the board, regardless of where it's at.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren's our guy.
100%.
Beautiful Penn State tight end.
100% dog. All right, Falcons. Raheem Morris took control in Atlanta, turned them around a little bit, but we know one thing's for sure: Michael Penix is the future. They officially gave up on Kirk Cousins.
Yes. After that horrible, probably one of the worst offseason decisions of all time at this point.
100%.
And Kirk Cousins, new offense.
Yeah. They got good playmakers. Bijan Robinson, one of the best backs in the league. Drake London played very well. Kyle Pitts still very mid.
The best thing you can do for a rookie quarterback.
Protect
Give
him.
him time.
They lost Drew Dahlman to the Bears. I like it. O-line very desperate need for a lot of teams. Michael Penix wants to succeed.
Especially in a quarterback that can get outside of the pocket and need that last second kind of little shakedown.
Agreed.
Arizona. On the
Okay.
heels of Marvin Harrison Jr. Kyler Murray finally started to be competent, I guess you could say as one way.
One way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they need. You just went out and signed Josh Sweat to a big contract. I feel like he fills your need for your thought of need for a pass rusher.
Yeah.
The defense isn't great. You drafted Marvin Harrison last year. James Conner, kind of probably still your guy. Got your Trey Benson behind him as well.
And Jalen Walker starting to creep up. I don't think their linebacker depth has been that great for him.
Not in a long time. I like Jalen Walker. I don't feel like anybody just sticks out here. I don't hate James Pierce starting to creep up, but I don't feel like they're in desperate need of a pass rusher.
Last season they had Baron Browning, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Mac Wilson.
Not great.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Walker.
Like Jalen Walker is a good Arizona pick here.
Let's rock with it. Cincinnati Bengals. Pass rush, 100%. Your most desperate position in need. Sam Hubbard retired. You gave Trey Hendrickson freedom to seek a trade.
The reins to walk, I guess you could say.
I think this is Mykal Williams or James Pierce. I think it's one of those two.
Alright. Something about James Pierce in Cincinnati, that connection just has really been hitting with me, and I don't know what it is.
trade him.
Tennessee, yeah, with the Tennessee boy.
Yeah, take him.
James Pierce to Cincinnati.
Beautiful. Seattle.
Sam Darnold. Again, we just announced pickup Cooper Kupp.
Still got Kenneth Walker, JSN. Your offensive play making point is probably solidified.
Yeah.
The defense, nah. Your cornerbacks are good.
Yeah.
Desmond Devon Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen. I guess the front seven could use some help.
And they have a back-to-back edge pick.
Yeah, I think so.
Marcus Lawrence, who
they did just sign DeMarcus Lawrence. I forgot. What's the O-line looking like?
Leonard
Tyler
Williams
Booker's
was
not that big.
Derek Hall, Tyrese Knight, and Ernest Jones, the linebacker.
That's not bad. Ernest Jones.
Boye Mafe.
Boye Mafe.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant, strong safety. Julian Love, free safety.
Julian Love played very well last season.
Obviously, you got Witherspoon and the nickel.
Yeah, Tariq Woolen. Their quarterback crew is good.
Yeah. Now they just need Cooper Kupp.
I think it's O-line or D-line. I think that's your two biggest positions in need.
Yeah, O-line had Abraham Lucas, Anthony Bradford, Olu Oluwatimi, Josh Jones, Charles Cross.
Charles Cross is good. I don't hate Tyler Booker.
They do need that inside Josh Jones and Bradford.
Which one do you think?
I could see Booker here. This feels like I don't know. It's trying to, yeah.
They're always in a weird spot.
Exactly.
Not sure how to feel about where they pick.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. I don't think you need, obviously, anything really on the offense. Your O-line's even really good. And your main positions are locked. Baker, Bucky, Mike, Godwin, K-Dot. I think defense is probably where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Where
a lot of age there, too.
Is very questionable. I think Michael Williams is always a good pick at this point. Still sitting on the board as an edge.
Elijah Cansey and Logan Hall.
Those are more. I feel like those are more interior guys. Though. I feel like they tried to play Cansey on the outside. I feel like he'd be way more successful like on the interior. Outside of that, though.
Yeah, DB, Anthony Walker, Levante David, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, I forgot David came back. They did sign Hassan Reddick. Okay, they kind of beefed up a little bit, man. Maybe they don't need Mike Hill.
Jamal Dean, Jordan Whithead, Antoine Winfield.
They did. Yeah, their safeties are cool.
Zion McCollum.
Maybe your corner.
Or right corner, yeah. Tyke Smith, nickelback.
Who's even here corner-wise at this position? I'm half blind.
Jade Barron, Chevron Revette.
Is it corner?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yep.
Donovan Edwards shot.
Benjamin Morrison.
He is really good, but it might be a little early for him. I don't know, though. I do like Benjamin a lot. You think it's corner? Is that what we're settling with?
I think it may be.
I think it's Barron or Morrison.
Unless.
I don't think they need safety.
I was going to say unless Memori played some kind of cornerback and they knew something we did.
Yeah, I think it's Barron or Morrison. No, go Barron. I do like
Barron.
We'll go Barron.
How about Aaron? Denver. Team pickups this offseason as well.
Wide receiver.
Picked up Evan Ingram.
Yeah, that is true. Outside of Sutton, you don't have a receiver. Running back, unless you stick with Estime, is a huge need now that you lost Javonte Williams. With who's here, man, I feel like their pass rush was decent last year. I don't feel like that's a big need. Obviously, you have the Depoy and Surtain.
Oh, yeah.
You still have you don't have Justin Simmons. You got Hufanga now though, and Drake Greenlaw you added. Forgot about that. Is it a playmaker? Is it like an Ibuka?
Yeah, so I have a running back, but again, that couldn't be the pick this early after Ginty.
It could be Luther Burden.
Yeah, player you can play like that. Yeah, Zach Allen, DJ Jones, John Franklin Myers, Nick Benito, Alex Singleton, Dre Greenlaw, Jonathan Cooper, Paxton James, Brandon
Their
Jones,
defense is cool.
Riley Moss.
They had one of the best defenses in the year last year.
Oh,
They only got better.
O-line, Garrett Mold, Ben Powers, Luke Wattenberg, Quinn Minor, yeah, Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah, their O-line
It's
straight
really-
too. It's wide receiver or running back. You gotta help Bo Nix. I think it's Ibuka, Luther Burden.
I could see Burden in Denver.
I could too. I do like that. Okay, we'll go Luther Burden.
Burden.
All right, Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
You got full control over this one. I won't
This is-
even put in my input.
this is painful. Obviously, mock draft 1.0, we didn't get this far. I would have dove on a Lucas, probably still would have been here at this point.
Right.
But we picked up DK Metcalf alongside George Pickens. I believe we still are holding that hand on the fact that George Pickens may be gone next season. Obviously, there's always that chance of controversy.
Right.
But I feel like Pittsburgh has been that team to not shy away from moving on from receivers. Once that rookie contract's up, we could also just let him walk.
Right.
So I believe next season, being the last year on his deal, picked up DK, gave him a 5-year extension. I feel like now, obviously, I also want to mention that I feel like Aaron Rodgers is almost a lock at this point, and I'm not happy about it. But this is
Just draft Jackson Dart here.
this is a scenario where if it was me as GM, I wouldn't hate that. Some personal mocks, I'm gonna do that, make myself feel better, 100%.
Right.
Maybe hop into Madden rebuild, Jackson Dart rebuild,
Right.
DK and George Pickens. But with the board the way it is, obviously opposite TJ Watt, Hayward's getting old. I mean,
Alex Smith.
yeah, we got Highsmith. I'm blanking on our D tackle. He's not the greatest, but he had some spurts last season.
Keanu Bit.
Yeah, thank you. You know my team better than I did. I just was looking at the team last night thinking about this exact scenario.
I just like using him in Madden rebuilds. Star diff.
I'm telling you, that guy. But I feel like if the board is this way, we love those Georgia dogs. It'd either be Mikkel or Derek Harmon to fill in that DT or play it in some kind of 2 DT fashion with how our defense plays. But I feel like being able to put Mikkel on the opposite of either Hayward or just outside of Watt, however you want to line up that defense,
Right.
would be the best thing to do. And I feel like, again, quarterback may be solidified by the time we get here.
Unfortunately.
So I think Mikkel Williams would be a beautiful pick.
All right. I like it. Rock with it. We on to the Chargers.
Hardball in Los Angeles.
You 1,000,000%
You just
need help
Yeah. O-line.
as well as receiver.
Yeah.
You lost Josh.
Well, I'll say
Palmer
last
to the
season,
Bills.
though, they went O-line. They also now have Najee Harris to just beef up that same game plan.
Joe Wall was a great pick. He's one
Yeah.
of the best tackles in the league already. But you lost Josh Palmer. Obviously, you still have Ladd. QJ is not the answer. Let's be 100% honest.
Still there for whatever reason.
Yeah, horrible. He had no hands, straight brick hands. I think Ibuka is in play here. I don't know. I mean, you did lose Joey Bosa, re-signing Khalil Mack. Could use help on the defense at some point. Colston Loveland's here as well. I just want to mention that he was Jim Harbaugh's guy at Michigan.
Yeah. So that would not be out of play at all.
Yeah, they do need tight end help. He's a playmaker. He's more.
So that Will Disley.
Yeah.
And again, QJ is essentially their wide receiver too, Mike Williams.
Oh, they did bring back Mike. Okay, it's Colston Loveland. That's the pick.
Over Will Disley.
100%.
Yeah, Slater, Zion Johnson, Bozeman,
Yeah, your O line is cool.
Biskins. Why is Joe Alt listed as the second, the backup right tackle? Deshaun Hand, D end, Justin Bougie.
You got Khalil Mack though.
You got fullback, Derwin James, obviously.
I think it's Colston. He gives them that Brock Bowers kind of feel.
Yeah.
He's Jim Harbaugh's guy.
I was about to say, it's just a connection.
He drafted Joe Alt. I know he didn't. Actually, that was Joe Alt played for Notre Dame on Twitter.
Yeah.
All right, Green Bay.
Yeah. You still don't technically have a wide receiver 1.
Mika Ibuka.
You've got 15 wide receiver 2s.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft. Obviously, the pickup of Josh Jacobs last year has been amazing. You have Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks, Elton Jenkins, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom on the O-line. So that's a little shaky over there in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Lucas Van Ness, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper.
Really good.
Yeah, stud. Isaiah McDuffie, Jair Alexander, Evan Lamb, Xavier McKinney,
Defense is cool.
Sean Nixon, Nate Hobbs. Stud.
The defense is straight. I don't feel like they have a single hole on defense. And let's be real. All those names are really good players.
Yeah. Kenny Clark still young.
Rashawn
I can
Gary's
see
an animal.
Egbuka. I mean, if they've lost faith in one of these wide receivers.
Which one do you give up on, though?
Exactly.
You can't play 4 receivers. I mean, you can, but not consistently. I just don't feel like defense is a big need for him.
Unless they go back to this O-line.
Yeah, that is true. It's O-line or it's Ibuka? What do you think?
I don't know. Egbuka's got to go eventually, but then at this point it gets to where?
Right.
Minnesota doesn't necessarily. I mean, no.
Yeah.
Texans. I mean, they just picked up.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, to essentially replace.
Lost Diggs, though. It's obviously Collins.
Technically. The Rams, Ravens, Lions, Commanders, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles.
None of those teams really need receivers.
Yeah.
I think you got to go with Ibuka. I feel like it's just the best fit left.
Egbuka to Green Bay.
Yeah. Let's do it. Beautiful.
Minnesota.
They've made a lot of moves. They've bulked the defense up a lot. They obviously filled out the offense. You're probably going to roll with McCarthy. Still have Jettas and Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Don't need none of those guys. The O-line's good. Not bad. The defense, like I said, they bulked it up a lot of big names on the defensive line. You could use safety help.
I was going to say, I'm worried you wouldn't be terrible here.
I feel like you could even still use corner help with Sharon Reed or Benjamin Morrison on the board. I think it's a defense for sure. Which position, though, is questionable.
Yeah. Where does Minnesota go?
I feel like it's corner. Like I said, they made some. I'm not 100% of the names off the top of my head, but they picked up quite a few guys on the D line. I feel like I just saw them popping off a random points.
Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave.
Yeah. Jonathan Allen's an animal. That's who.
You still have Harrison Phillips.
Yeah. I think it's
equal Harrison Smith.
I think it's Eminem or one of the corners.
Yeah, corner you got Byron Murphy in your nickel, but then you have Isaiah Rodgers at your right corner. Najee Thompson at your left corner. Your two main corners are.
They still have Harrison Smith, I do believe, too, but he's getting old. Yeah, it's Reed, Eminem or Morrison. What do you think?
Oh, Harrison Smith getting older. I could see Siobhan.
Alright.
Cornerback to Minnesota.
Beautiful.
Houston's on the board.
The safeties don't really need much help. Your playmakers are fine. Corners are good. Derek Stingley's an animal. That Kamari Lassiter dude is fantastic. They're going to be a beautiful 1-2 punch. The D-line, maybe. Maybe Hammond.
I'm gonna say Hammond wouldn't be, or yeah, Harmon.
Jahad Campbell. We know D'Amico Ryans loves his linebackers.
Campbell, also from Alabama, would still be a steal at this point.
Nick Scorton's also a really good edge rusher.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those guys.
I can see Jahad going there.
You're right, Jahad. Let's do it. Lock it in. Jahad Campbell it is.
Yes, sir. Brings us to the Los Angeles Rams.
And you obviously don't need receiver. You don't need running back. You don't need quarterback. O-line possibly. D-line I don't feel like so much. I really like the crew they have down there. And
Yeah.
Jared Verse and Kobe Turner.
So you still got Brandon Fisk, yeah.
Yeah, I think their D-line's good. Anchor corners could use a little work, possibly.
But at this point, is there enough left for them to reach?
Yeah. I feel like if you go corner, it has to be Morrison. Or, obviously not. I'm sure Evan Warren can play kind of the hybrid role.
I can see the Rams beefing up that O-line for Matthew Stafford.
Okay. We go Josh Simmons it is.
Josh Simmons, Baltimore, the pickup of another 45-year-old wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Obviously, regardless, that offense was amazing year one. Gonna have more chemistry.
Derrick Henry still very capable.
I mean, that O-line has been really good. I don't know if that's necessarily a need.
We're into a very interesting spot.
Yeah.
Your safeties don't really need help. Defensive line isn't bad. Your corners are good.
Matabuki at the end. Travis Jones, the nose tackle. Broderick Washington. Adafe Alway.
Maybe Scorton wouldn't be a bad pick here.
Trenton Simpson, Kyle Van Noy, Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, their corners are fine. Their secondary is fine in general. I think it's Scorton or man, I don't even know.
I can see them taking the Harmon pick. Harmon or Scorton?
I like Scorton.
Nick Scorton beefing up the defense in Baltimore.
100%.
Can't score 33 and lose because he let up 34. Come on,
Factual.
Baltimore. Detroit. Again,
They
just
don't
inches
need
away. That defense, though, was missing most of their pieces.
It was indeed.
You could, again, now beef it up even more. You could add whoever at this point.
What do you have? That's the question. What do they need?
Who do you add?
You don't need nothing. Your offense is completely set. You have playmakers everywhere. One of the best O-lines in football. Your defense is still good. Kirby Joseph is really good. Your corners are should be good.
Yeah, so look with Harmon still here as the safe pick.
Yeah. I feel like he could fit alongside the other guys. Obviously, you still have Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, coming back to play on the edge.
We can guard that. They do have I'm blanking his name. I'm looking at his face in my head, but they have a really good interior D tackle that they locked up. I'm going to be so mad when I hear his name. They literally just signed him last year. Or they extended him last year.
DJ Reader.
No.
Ali McNeil.
Yeah. Ali McNeil. He's
Yeah,
really
the
good.
DTs are kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Pascal on the other side.
Is there a really good edge rusher
Marcus
left?
Davenport, though.
Yeah, they did re-sign Davenport.
Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes.
So you linebacker? I'm like half blind.
I'm on the DTs.
Oh.
Linebackers.
Not really.
Chris Paul Jr.
Hey, CP.
Word.
My boy CP. You do not go running back. Oh, that's edge. I thought I said Donovan Edwards.
This is where the draft really shakes up in these last five.
Mialo is really good. I feel like he's the next edge rusher I'd take. Wow, they have him down 4 though. That's insane.
Yeah, who was it?
JT Tumialo.
Yeah, I don't know why he's ranked that low. I feel like regardless, this is just like a safe and developmental pick.
They don't need anything. There ain't no need for nothing over there. You take JT? Or, I mean, I don't know. Who do you think?
I feel like JT could be the pick.
Maybe a little bit of a reach. I mean, do you still need help at corner? Benjamin Morrison's not a bad pick here. Obviously, you got Terry and Arnold, signed Carlton Davis, I believe. Or lost Carlton Davis.
It's not Pete Robertson.
They were really big on him last year.
DJ Reed, Terry and Arnold.
They added DJ Reed. That's what it was. So I don't think you need corner now.
Brian Branch on the nickel.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Cody Joseph. Brian Branch. And strong safety as well.
Wow, their safeties are so good.
So is Brian Branch the nickel and the strong safety?
No, he plays nickel. It just really depends what they play. If they can run nickel, he's the nickel corner. You don't run nickel every play.
I feel like you could get DN just because you saw what happened after
Aiden went down. Yeah. And absolutely.
JT here?
Yeah, I'm right with it.
Ohio State. Commanders. A lot of beef ups this offseason. Straight building for success, one game away. Jaden did his thing. They're trying to help.
Only gotten better. They're so much better than they were last year already. I don't know, man. This is a tough pick. There's nothing that's screaming that you need. I feel like your corners are good. Obviously, you have Marshawn. I mean, you did trade away Jonathan Allen. You still have Duron Payne. Is that his name?
Yes.
Evan Worry, I don't hate. I feel like their safeties aren't great.
Detrice Wise Jr. playing your lefty. Then Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Dorrance Armstrong, Frankie Lulu, Bobby Wagner, Dominic Hampton, Jonathan Jones, Will Harris, Marshawn Lattimore.
Will Harris and Jonathan. I guess Jonathan Jones is okay. I feel like Benjamin Morrison's not a crazy pick here. I also like Nick. I feel like who's their starting safeties? I feel like they're not great.
Will Harris, Quan Martin.
Yeah, I feel like you have to go. Emin Warrior, or however you say it.
Emin Warrior.
Yeah, USC, or I guess South Carolina.
Yeah, still being here, you beef up the back end of your defense.
Okay. This is Benjamin Morrison. I feel like they need a corner so bad. You're this late in the draft. He's still there. He's very good, especially at this point in the draft. Good value. Has so much potential. And it's a desperate spot of need for those guys.
So you're one game away, Buffalo.
You gotta lock up the receivers, man.
Benjamin Morrison. The downfall or the recovery? Kansas City's back after their first Super Bowl loss in 3 tries.
Yeah. And they could use a plethora of things.
Yeah.
They traded away Joe Thuney. I feel like there's no crazy offensive lineman here.
You still have Chris Jones. Travis Kelce should be gone after this season.
You don't need a receiver. You
your new
Marquise
trio
Brown.
should finally play.
Yeah, depending on what comes out of this Xavier Worthy case.
It was dropped.
Oh, it was completely?
Yes, because it came out that she was faking it.
I agree.
Or not faking everything, but she was assaulting him and
that's all that, yeah.
all that. So he asked her to leave because like she cheated on him or something
I told you that.
months ago.
That's not your grandma's. Yeah. Make sure you know that. Do you prepare for life after Chris Jones? I feel like there's not a guy.
I was say once you're at 31, this isn't.
This isn't. I mean, he's not going to play right away on a team like this.
Yeah, Nolan or a Harmon here.
Keep Chris Jones for a little while. He's somebody that can play alongside Chris Jones.
Almost lost him 3 seasons ago?
Yeah, literally.
Before their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Run.
Ironically.
All right, Harmon, and then you're Super Bowl champs. Close things out in Philly.
Man, where do you go?
Yeah, I mean, there's no need.
You don't need.
You lost Slay.
Offense. You did lose Slay. But I mean, you have Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who are the 1-2, no matter what.
Yeah, regardless.
And you did trade away CJ. You beefed up that O-line a little bit in Kenyon Green. You lost Kenneth Gainwell.
You take a backup running? Yeah, a backup running back? I feel like in the first round, it's still no reason to take a backup running back.
Right. Isaiah Bond. They don't need a receiver, though. Let's be up front. A lot of good tight ends. You still have Goddard. Josh Connerly is really good if you want to go O-line. This is a weird pick. I feel like the defense, I just feel like there's not a need, right? I feel like they have so many defensive pieces. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. You did lose Sweat. Actually, I guess you're right. They did lose quite a few defensive line guys this offseason.
This is, the small,
They did lose a lot of pieces. I think they lost 8 people or something from their Super Bowl team last year.
Where did they go? Did they go edge or interior?
I feel like your interior is fine. Jalen Carter is there to stay. Jordan Davis is really good. You need edge.
Between Donovan and Mike Green. I feel like Mike Green's fallen in this ranking a little more than he should.
I'm cool with either. I feel like either one's a good pick.
Who do we want to close it out with?
Like Mike Green reminds me of the guy that Ruthie slept.
King Green?
Yeah.
Bobby Green.
Oh, Mike King, Bobby Green.
All right, close it out with him.
Mike Green to Philly to close out our 32-pick draft.
Absolutely. Mock Draft 2.0 is official. Our results are here on the screen for you to take a peek back at.
Quick run back, Cam Ward to Tennessee. Again, I feel like that's almost lock at this point.
Right.
Travis Hunter to Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders, your guy in New York. And Bill Carter falls to 4 for the perfect scenario in New England. Will Campbell beef up that O-line in Jacksonville. Ashton Jeanty for the new look Las Vegas Raiders with Tom Brady and ownership being
Pete Carroll.
the talk of town. Yeah.
Chip Kelly.
Our man Mimbu slides up the boards after his combine to the Jets. Territorial McMillan gets something to work out over there with Bryce Young in Carolina. Will Johnson to strap up that defense after the Lattimore departure.
Yes.
Mason Graham in Chicago. Shamar Stewart to the Niners. Matthew Golden for a playmaker in Dallas. Malachi Starks defense in Miami. Tyler Warren the tight end in Indy. Kelvin Banks an offensive tackle for the Falcons. Jalen Walker a linebacker for the Cardinals. James Pierce for that edge in Cincy. Tyler Booker an offensive guard for the Seahawks. Janae Barron a cornerback for the Buccaneers from Texas. Luther Burden. You get another playmaker outside of
Cortland
Sutton, see him doing this too fast. Michael Williams, because at this point we're getting old on defense in Pittsburgh. Colston Loveland, tight end, playmaker, hardball connection.
Yeah.
And Mika Egbuka, another playmaker in Green Bay, hopefully a number 1 wide receiver. Cornerback, do you know how to pronounce that one?
I'm half blind. I can't even see.
It's like Chevron Rubel or
Sure.
something like that.
I thought it's
Jihad
Reed.
No.
That's what I said earlier.
Rebel. I went with it. Jihad Campbell, linebacker to the Texans. Josh Simmons, offensive tackle to the Rams. Nick Scorton, edge to the Ravens. JT Tuamalu, edge to the Lions. Nick Amenwari to the Commanders. Benjamin Morrison, cornerback to the Bills. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle to the Chiefs. And Mike Green, edge to the Phillies. For the Philadelphia Eagles.
Phillies, man.
The Phillies.
Philadelphia Phillies.
Ready for them home run slips, I'm telling you.
Facts.
The Schwarber bombs. About to have 90 of them slips.
Facts. I'm so hyped.
But that is our official mock draft 2.0. We still have a couple more before draft season gets underway. So we've got a little over a month left before April 20th or 23rd, something like that.
More trades, more scenarios to pop off between now and then.
Absolutely. So things are obviously still subject to change. None of these are official. These are just obviously guesses based off our research. So we'll have a few more of these before draft season. But for now, that's all we have planned for the NFL. I feel like that went well. Broke down why and how some of these players fit where, and it was much different than our first one.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for future mock drafts.
Absolutely.